There we go.
Okay, so this is the review for Junco Sprint 1. It's been a pretty short sprint, less than 2 weeks, and so let's see what folks have done. So we'll start off with platform. And let me try to do, sorry. Okay, Thomas, do you want to start?
Sure. So it was fairly light on the platform. For the most part, we just took care of one of the issues which resulted in using of the insecure Apache Karaf client. So that's been completely deprecated and eliminated, and now all of the access to ONOS command line shell is through the SSH client. Also, some work was spent on providing support for compilation of the Yang code from within Buck. So the Bucklet was provided, but most likely there will be additional work that will be needed in this area. But for the most part, it should be usable now by external applications, not external applications, but ONOS applications such as the 10B application. And that was it on platform.
Okay, thanks. Simon?
Yeah, hi. So we actually put together a pretty ambitious sprint, and as a result of the short 2 weeks, we didn't complete everything, but I thought I'd just document things here. For the first 3 bulleted items on the completed view, we have 3 screenshots in the following 3 slides, hence the asterisks. But basically, we filled out details of a flow. So there's a view that you can select for a device that flows on the device. You can select a specific flow. We'll pull in a details panel which breaks down the constraints and the treatments to a more palatable form for reading. We've also had filtering capability added to the ports, groups, and meters views. So that's kind of client-side filtering. So if you have a long table, you can kind of put things in the search box and filter the view to just that. We've been working on the topology view, the classic topology view. We've switched over now to the new icons, the ones that the graphics designer we've been working with has provided for us. And then in the new topology view, we've finished out the selection of regions, devices, host links, providing the details in a panel. And there have also been wiki documentation updates. Some of the things that were started but not completed include a design of a new view for petitions. If I recall, Fan did put out a call to the community, but has had no feedback. So I've included the URL to the discussion here if anyone would like to provide feedback on how they would like the partitions to be rendered in the UI. We'd love to hear from you. We've also started working on processing updates to the model in the new topology view, but had to work through some design issues. So that actually took longer than we expected. We have, and then not started, so it'll basically push out till next sprint. We've captured the requirements for supporting the protected intent concept for packet optical. The idea is that we'll be able to select one of these and then say, show this to me on the topology view. We just didn't get started on that work this time around. So if you want to move on to the next 3 slides at a pace where people can kind of take a look and say, ooh, yes, there you go. So here in the flow details, for example, we've pulled out treatment and selector, and each of those items will be, have an enumerated list of the properties rather than just the toString that is available on the expanded view of the list. Next slide shows the filtering that has been added to the ports, groups, and meters pages. And then the next slide shows the new icons for switches and end stations. There are other new icons too, I just didn't have them in the specific setup. So there you go, that's it from the GUI brigade.
Thanks, Simon. Deployment, Luca?
Yeah, hello. So, hold on, it changed something from last time I saw it. Okay. First of all, we commit some code, but we are waiting for reviews. The main thing I did was, well, the last bullet, so add encapsulation features in SDNIP. I received +1 today from Junco, so should be good to go. I fixed the null pointer exception bug in the VPLS CLI, updated the old VPLS CLI helper. Oh, and also, this is a cool thing. I hope it will help lots of people. So, Junco time ago put together a set of Mininet scripts to instantiate topologies, including routers and BGP speakers. So I put together these scripts together with other scripts. So now they should be, well, they can be used from STC net setup. So basically with one command, STC net setup, and the right topo file that I committed as well, you can bring up a topology with 4 routers, 3 BGP speakers, just in one command in a few seconds, which I believe is very cool to test SDNIP. For bandwidth reservation and enforcement, we kind of, well, Pierre went through a long review of all the patches. Unfortunately, we are to the conclusion that it needs a little bit more of redesign. Doesn't mean that everything needs to be thrown away, but we need to rethink to some stuff. So design is in progress. VPLS bug, I said left open for the next sprint. This is what I'm working on today. So I'm not sure it's really related to VPLS, but I still need more further investigation.
Okay, thanks, Luca. Packet optical? Yuta?
Hi. For packet optical, so the behavior design has been finalized and has been merged into the code base. Now we're still waiting for the actual utilization of that, which will be the installer and so on, and the intention to build a tunnel between devices. One more unrelated one is we now have on a sample app repo, we have a prototype of Swagger generated REST server stub to support MEF NRP API. So if we do, today we generate Swagger definition for our REST API, but this one is the reverse order. Given someone is publishing Swagger API, add support for that in ONOS. This could be a template for that. And the last thing, one thing in progress is the compiler for the intent that is under review. That's it.
Okay, thanks, Yuta. Virtualization, is Ali there? Okay. Yunsu? Okay, we'll move on to the next one. Dynamic configuration, Sithara?
So this sprint we focused on getting consensus and clarity on the information exchange models between applications, schema aware and schema unaware. How to generate the information exchange models, what are the interfaces, how would the models look like, how to interpret them, how to consume them. We discussed and we have made reasonable clarity on these model definitions. Some of the implementations and APIs are available. Some are still in progress. We have also created draft implementations for the dynamic config store and the service. All of this need not be thrown away. Some can be retained, but they will undergo heavy changes after the model implementations are available. That's where we are. And the open task we have is about the Yang compiler. That's for generating code and metadata, auto-generating code and the metadata. So other tasks, there is some code and review. They are mostly drafts and initial versions, APIs. We will continue with the implementations in the coming sprints.
Thanks, Sarah. QA, Sujitra?
For QA, we finished the tests for the VPLS feature, and we also completed the work for the VLAN interfaces, adding VLAN interfaces to the SDN IP. And we did some work regarding intent readout testing, and we improved some of the testing around that. And that also was pending for a while, and we just completed that as well. And regarding the bugs, the intent bug was fixed by peer, and we actually tested that, and it's working fine, but it is not merged yet. And for the cluster bug, I think John is still following on the on the cluster issue. So can you please go to the next slide? So regarding the bugs, so we have total 170 open bugs, 3 resolved, and 10 new. And regarding the high priority bugs, these are the first 4 bugs are the bugs which we discussed last time in the bug scrub meeting, and added them here. And the rest of the other 2 bugs are, the last one is the performance regression bug, and this is still from the last release. We are just continuing with all these bugs, and we listed them as the high priority from QA side. And I have a clarification. So regarding the 5347, is there anyone who is actually going to take? Do we have anybody? So just a quick question.
Not currently. It's been advertised to the community, so
Okay.
that for folks to pick up. But Thomas and I did talk about it. We'll flag it as an issue if by the end of sprint 2, no one picks it up, and then at that point we'll need to work with the team to see who can pick it up. Otherwise, it'll impact our ability to get it out in the Junco release.
Okay. Okay. So then once it is picked up, and then we might have to decide about the 1.8.1, right? Not at this time.
Yes, we would love to have someone in the community pick it up and have it in 1.8.1. But
Okay.
regardless of that, I think it'll still need to be picked up in 1.8.1. So if we fix it in 1.9.
Okay. Okay, so I think then the first 2 bugs are the only outstanding, because 3088 is all it's on from the QA side, which is pending for verification. So mostly we will target for the next sprint, and 5691 as well. It's already fixed, and if it is merged, then we can do a final test again for the next sprint.
Okay.
Thank you. That's
Thanks, Sujitra.
Thanks.
Lisp. I don't see Jen. Okay, so we'll move on to, we're done with Junco Sprint 1. So here's the Junco schedule. So with the Junco schedule, we're looking at 4 sprints. We've just wrapped up Sprint 1. Sprint 2 will start on January 3rd and will go for 3 weeks, ending on January 20th. Sprint 2 planning will be on Tuesday, January 3rd, after we come back from the holiday break at 3 p.m. PST. I also discussed with Utah, and the plan is to add a packet optical sprint in Jira to track that work effort. So after this meeting, we'll go through and close all the sprints, and then new sprints will be created this way for folks that are working tomorrow or through the holidays. They can start planning their sprint 2. This way, when we get back on the 3rd, we'll be ready to get going after that meeting.
Yeah, okay. That's a good idea. Yep.
Okay. And then I don't believe there were any demos, so I think we're done for today.
Great. Nice and sweet. Nice and short.
Okay. Thanks, everyone, and have a great holiday.
You too.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank